rotation. Doesn't really call for any surprises, but we're looking back toward those junglers. Jarvan does get taken off the board, so we'll see what the first pick here is. And with that not being banned, Rise gets taken for Karis.
All I'm saying is now we want a first pick after our top laner's two best champions have been taken off the board. Now, it's just, did they not look at the graphic that we had earlier, Roodood? I mean, they should have been paying attention.
They have not solved the Rubik's Cube.
No, they have not. And now we're getting NaiYou on one of those proactive early game junglers that has a little bit of CC. We're getting the Cassiopeia into the Rise as well. Top Esports with a great start to their draft.
Yep, common counter. You know, we've seen Cassio, we've seen Anivia. I feel like the Cassio just gives a little bit more agency in the late game, a little bit more ability to be a carry. Obviously much more susceptible if you end up getting caught out by a route from the Rise. That is then problematic, but Ezreal Karma getting locked in for WE does give them control of that bot side. I think that both of these bot lanes have gone to and fro. They really have been battling it out, and you know, we saw game 1 be quite advantageous for About and Yaoyao. Game 2 quite advantageous for JiaQi and Fengyue. Answer to enchanters typically are those hard engaged supports that have the all-in capabilities. We saw the hover for the Blitzcrank. It's going to be the Nautilus locked in for Fengyue, and what is already a relatively skirmish-oriented composition. It's got some good backup into the late game for the Cassiopeia. Looking again at this Kai'Sa, is JiaQi going to look to try and take this pick for himself? Was one of the picks that he made his name on the RNG roster back at the beginning of 2025. The JiaQi Kai'Sa moments were, you know, giving shades of Uzi from way back when on that RNG squad, but whether or not that ends up making its way through this draft, we will wait and see.
And if I'm Team WE, I'm pretty happy with that Nautilus lock-in. And the reason why is you've already shown Fengyue that sometimes you will struggle early in lane. You've going up against the double poke bot lane does mean that About and Yaoyao may have opportunities to try and take advantage of some mispositionings. I like Team WE's idea of trying to ban out some strong AD carries. I thought that even Misfortune would work out pretty perfectly here. They did too. We'll take it away. Again, we'll see if that Kai'Sa is taken off the board. A couple of junglers eaten at the pool of Monki here. Olaf and Trundle are gone.
I don't mind that. Let's see what it is that Monki can dip into to try and take this into the next level. We'll see what Top Esports are going to pick on their AD carry as well. They've taken both of those high prio marksmen out of contention. JiaQi's Kai'Sa and Misfortune have been removed, so it's going to be something a little bit lower down in at least his priority pool. Still have things, you know, quite common. I was looking at things like the Corki as an answer. Does give you some good early game control and an ability to at least fight back using that Phosphorus Bomb, such a powerful spell.
We'll see if they want to go for the Ashe here. I was thinking the Corki as well. I thought that would have been a really nice pick, but they'll instead go for Ashe, indexing into a little bit more CC, realizing that the lane may just be forfeit when you are up against Karma and Ezreal. We are hovering Lee Sin. Surely we are not going to lock in Lee Sin. I mean, you could always go and kick away the Xinjiao, right?
Could do. Don't know that that's going to be your route to success, though, this game round. As Cube does look in a tank on that top side now. Gwen hasn't been banned, and 369 could look to take that for himself. It gives you the circles of Nope as well if you do lock that in. And we'll see what it is that WE round out in that jungle pool. Monki goes for the Jace here, so looking to play this poke style comp. Karma, Ezreal and the Jace going to be looking to poke you out from afar. I wonder if this then just resorts back to a sort of sustained focused top lane. You need to find some sort of all-in here as Top Esports. You know, you have to go forward before you get poked out. You've got the engage of a Nautilus, but I don't know if that's going to be quite enough to make this stick. You need some more true engage. That feels a little bit better. Taking the Ornn for 369. Let's get a way to start these fights going before we get poked out.
So I think a lot of heavy lifting is going to be on Karis this game because you've got a lot of this poke, right? Well, how are you going to be able to finish these kills off? You're going to have to realm warp yourself into some pretty precarious positions to try and snipe off a couple of kills. There's not much CC in the way of Team WE. You're relying on Yaoyao to speed you up using Shurelya's, using that empowered E. Other than that, all out in Rune Prison are your CC on Team WE and Karma Tether, but let's be real, that seems a little fake. And top esports, NaiYou and Creme, listen, it's their show. It's their world. The rest of top esports are just living in it. It's up to those two to be the dynamic duo that carries top esports to a 3-0.
Yeah, I wonder if this bot lane is going to be able to hang as top esports, right? You're playing up against Ezreal Karma. I think if you land that early hook, you have to commit to an all-in. That's the rule here for the Nautilus. If you go for one hook and then try to back away in the time that you're backing out, you're sacrificing so much HP from the Ezreal, from the Karma. You kind of have to go hell for leather and look for that play, that all-in from the get-go. Whether it's level 1, whether it's level 3, when you've got access to all of those spells, we will wait and see. But I think that top esports, with this Ashe as well, you've got so much chase down with the permanent slow on those auto attacks to make this chase work, to make this possibility on the bot side of a complete systematic sweep.
I think the big key for Team WE is you need to get Monki ahead early, especially on this Jace. We need to see this poke come in hot and heavy. I want to see 15 minutes in, him almost finished his second item because those items are so cheap. Fengyue already doing what Fengyue does best, getting poked out early.
Really good poke though, and I mean that stops now any level 1 shenanigans being able to succeed for Fengyue and JiaQi as they lose out on a little bit of HP, but that means that the all-in is no longer going to be favourable for them. You can see that Yaoyao commanding respect of this brush. As soon as those Qs go wide though, Fengyue has an opening.
Yup, and everybody's slowed when JiaQi's hitting you, so already getting some of the summoner spells out down on the bottom side. It looks like Fengyue may want in for round 2, but takes a lot on the way back. Nothing too surprising in terms of our rune choices here for this game is flashless. That is important to note.
Yeah, he saved his HP here. He knows he's going to hit level 2 and then get a flash on a 10-second cooldown, so saving HP by not taking a load of auto attacks from JiaQi at level 1 definitely makes a little bit of sense when you try and contextualize it with his E. JiaQi though has missed a good couple of minions already, which is not necessarily what you would like, and now that level 2 is able to come through and able to force this wave under the turret. They might even look for a very early recall here, prevent themselves from being too poked out. I forgot it's Ezreal Car, but they're going to poke under the turret. My bad.
Yeah, yep, this is true. It's gonna be bad news. So far, so easy for the side of top esports elsewhere with Creme. Already able to push up a little bit on Karis here. Again, we'll see if NaiYou is going to get disrupted early or if he's going to be able to disrupt Monki. I feel like once something bad happens to Monki, things tend to fall apart for Team WE. And this is a bit of an issue when he is the one who is leading the charge.
Wait for
this ward,
timeout.
yep, gonna expire. Lie and wait. He's ready to make his move. Fengyue needs to land this hook. Yaoyao is walking away along with About. The slow is there. About getting tagged. He's going to get engaged on first. Shift is there. Flashing after him. Yaoyao leaves his AD carry to die. It's first blood to JiaQi.
Yep, only so much that you can do there as Yaoyao, unfortunately, with no flash, they do manage to punish the Ezrealers. Is Cube in trouble here? He's still got Q3 and the stun from the W lasting for just a little bit too long, but it's first blood over to JiaQi, this Karma Ezreal. Really good to see that NaiYou there skips his entire bot side to be down on that gank timer in time. I'm curious, because Monki's level 4 might have been able to go and try and invade, but without any bot side prio, does make it very difficult. He will get a top grab uncontested, might even be able to put down a little bit of vision, instead doesn't have it. Whoa! And will be looking to find his way back to base.
Yeah, I mean, this level 4 just means nothing right now, unless you're going to actually do something with it. We are seeing a ping go down onto Creme, so this could be the opportunity for him to do something with it. Creme is very low on mana. You'll get nothing more than stopping a recall here, and if that's all you're getting with your advantage, that's a huge win for top esports.
Yeah, and all of that time that we were looking, this is what you have to consider, okay? All of that time that Monki spent, quote, farming, right? Like getting himself those camps, whatever, gave him this farm lead. Now, we need to see what it is that he's able to do with it. He has nothing.
Uh-oh, NaiYou is immediately revisiting the bot lane here. He's going to tag up About. About is caught, and About is dead. Yaoyao going to be the next target, too. Is the shielding going to be enough? Is he going to be able to get under the turret? He is, but he will not survive. NaiYou is able to walk out, and the top esports jungler is crushing Team WE under the pressure.
And it's not even for the vibes of it. He finds a double kill down on that bot side once again. This is what happens when we give NaiYou something with a little bit of early game control. Yes, he's going to lose out quite heavily on his top side camps this time round, but he's able to just find another couple of kills down in that bot lane. About and Yaoyao, you know, they were laning 2v2 just fine, but this is a jungle diff right now. Monki was able to go in and steal away some chickens, but that's going to be of little consequence to top esports when they look at the 1k gold lead they've already picked up.
A very difficult start for a Team WE squad that has fallen flat on their face here in this best of 5. We expected fireworks between these two teams, and there's no firepower for the side of Team WE as NaiYou is looking to revisit the bot lane once more. Heal already getting expended. Fengyue lands that hook onto About. He's able to shift away. NaiYou didn't show either.
He might be in trouble if he does. Monki is lurking around the corner here. But they are able to clear out that vision once again, and you can see that... Yeah, here comes Karis as well.
And he's got that Realm Warp. We are going to see a root come down on a Fengyue. Here comes that Realm Warp in as well, and Fengyue will fall. Good job by Karis moving around well.
Yeah, recalled and then went back out via bot lane. Knows that he's going to be able to work his way back up to that mid lane eventually. He might miss out on maybe 1 or 2 creeps, but he's actually going to be able to successfully grab the majority of it. And all of this has come at a cost here. You can see Monki level 6 versus NaiYou's level 4. Needs to get some camps in his back pocket as well. Now the Fengyue is the one to fall is a bit of a win for top esports.
Forge God coming through. We'll see if 369 actually wins this fight. A little low on mana. He's okay to just hang out, farm up, and make his impact known elsewhere in this game. See a lot of pings setting up on the top side for this second grab. 369 is going to go eat some of his honey fruit. His Cuban Karis are going to force him away. 369 will have to flash.
Okay, and I was expecting him to go for that flash when he went for the all-in. Didn't end up using either of them. And now in the mid lane, Creme in trouble. Oh dear.
Oh, great roam from Yaoyao, and Monki is going to descend on him as well. Good flash from Creme. Hook is onto Monki. JiaQi's on the way. Creme quite low, but they force away Team WE. All the while, NaiYou is able to sneak away the dragon.
Yeah, Creme with a good flash there. Dodges the to the skies damage, which means he's able to stand firm. Hold on.
Oh, Fengyue getting it done right on top of Karis.
And he just can't be expecting that hook there. Has flash ready the whole time, but does end up falling. Not on this bot side. About actually able to do some really meaningful damage here to JiaQi. Level 6 does come through though for the Ashe. Good dodge out on that Mystic shot. With a Sheen in the back pocket, Ezreal not a slouch currently in it. You know, to 0-2 and 1, but still ahead in gold, still ahead in farm rather. The fact that he's lost those 2 kills, or 2 deaths rather, quite surprising that he's even so close to parity. Take another look in this mid lane. Monki again, shock blasts a minion, flashes out by Creme. Overall, this Jace has not been able to really make that payment work. It's a good roam from the bot side of top esports, don't get me wrong, but then you can just see Fengyue here. Great angle on the hook. Looks like he's walking up towards that top side to try and defend some chickens. Catches him with the fakie and now might have found him once again.
Oh, he's flashing after Karis, forcing Karis' flash out. What this will do is it'll buy time for NaiYou to go and pick up all of these grubs. Fengyue making great moves. A caster minion in the mid lane, 6th Man of the Year award. Means that top esports has a very sizable lead right now. It's only about 600 or 700 gold, but the objective is going their way as well. Just plus the fact that Creme's online, NaiYou's online, it's really good for them.
If anything, a little surprised to see that JiaQi is not much further ahead than About, right? We look at their experience. About is actually a little bit further up. The CS as well, About is slightly further ahead, largely because JiaQi had been moving out of experience range to try and chase down these kills, so he's losing out on quite a good amount. And with how fast waves actually respawn, when you're looking to try and take these kills, when you try and take these pushing waves down into the bot side, it's very difficult to deny a full wave of experience. Gone are the days where you can push a wave, have it fully crash, before you are either Sivir or you've hit a good amount of breakpoints in your items. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more of an advantage, as Cube might be looking for 369 here.
All Out does come through. 369 does have to call the Forge God, but we'll sit and take a recall under the turret for the moment. Monki's shot blast goes wide as he might have an assist on his ledger, but he has not done much in this game. Karis able to deftly dodge out of the petrifying gaze.
Feels like Monki's just taking up some shooting practice in the mid lane, right? I've seen the last 3 times I've
practice
seen
more.
Monki. Yeah, no, that's true. I've just seen him firing shock blasts at Creme. One of them, yeah, granted, there was a root on him, but the other 2 that went wide, we've not been able to land those for free just yet, but we'll keep our eyes out for JiaQi now getting caught on the bot side. Tether does break, fortunately for him. The power of those tier 2 boots and a little bit of a slow coming through onto Yaoyao there being enough to break that.
This has been a big regression from Team WE. It feels like they have no bite to their gameplay anymore. Their bot lane has struggled mightily. The rookie of the split about not getting it done. And from downtown, that enchanted crystal arrow lands flush. Karis falling for a second time. And there's just nothing that Team WE can do.
And in fairness to Karis there, those arrows from the deep side of the lane are tricky to dodge. If you don't see them coming in time, you can just get caught with it, and not quite as easy to get a sidestep on. And there are 3 members of top esports also waiting in the wings for that arrow to connect. You've got the grounding coming through. You had Fengyue with another hook, knock up from NaiYou as well. Top esports though, as far as this game goes, they're going to be happy to try and take this one late if they need to. They've got the engage from the on, they've got a little bit of engage from Fengyue and NaiYou, and they've got the damage to back it up as well. Old school Season 2 Ash plays. Reimagined for Season 25.
So perfect. Listen, it's nice to see that a champion like Ash, who's quite an old champion, still make plays happen and still be relevant in the modern day. About going to get knocked up here as Monki showing up on the bot side. Heal out from Yaoyao. Empowered Q goes down with a shock blast landing on the Fengyue. 20 seconds till this dragon is up, and it feels like Team WE are starting to try and be progressive here. Hook does not land onto Yaoyao. JiaQi split up from the rest of the squad, but not getting poked out quite yet. Did see Creme take a recall. Doesn't have a teleport either for the time being.
So they just know, okay, Karis has the ability to move realm warps ready, so let's just make sure that we're not costing ourselves all that much by going fishing really early on. Monki again, still down here on the spot side. Really wants to either find a recall for a battle, or looking for a 2v3.
It's right on Monki. Here comes NaiYou. He's ready to go in and fight. Monki gets a kill, but he gets traded out on the backside. Realm warp there, and NaiYou says, I'll stand and fight. Creme flashing in, petrifying gaze, locks up Karis, and he goes down next.
Yeah, can't get out, doesn't have flash. He's grounded underneath the structure as well, and it's top esports once again clinging to this lead, and this time round pushing it that little bit further. Yes, Fengyue falls, but these have little consequences. Creme now going to look aggressively underneath this turret about. He's got flash, he's got barrier, so might be feeling a little bit more confident, but I do think that this Cassiopeia, God of Age has already picked up. Swifty Boots in the back pocket as well, and upgraded to that mid lane quest as well. Does feel really good for Creme, does feel really good as well for the rest of top esports. Able to pick up a second dragon, again rolling a Cloud Soul, but we'll see if JiaQi's able to escape this assault on him in the mid lane, and answer is just unequivocally yes.
So difficult for Team WE to play here. About has that Trinity Force after this recall, so that is a bit of a spike. You're going to really love that for the Herald fight coming up in 1 minute and 40 seconds. I think Team WE kind of needs to stick to their guns at this point and fight at every objective. This is a team that has been known to not like giving up objectives, and despite the fact that Karis doesn't have a whole lot in the inventory, I think you have to leverage the early strength of Monki and About right now. We need to see some impact come in for Q, perhaps, with a crafty all-out on a target in one of these fights. I just worry that... Oh, NaiYou got that. I worry that 369 is going to be more impactful than Q.
And you know, with the recent trends, it's not an unfounded worry here, Yanni. Yeah, 500 gold lead for Cube on that top side. Largely, I'd say, off of his own back. There's a couple of plates that he's been able to pick up, a 15 CS lead as well. But the question really is that going to be enough here? Remember that he is supposed to act as the frontline Cube for this poking composition. as NaiYou is supposed to act as that front line, but also the engage. He's supposed to act as this part of the puzzle that can begin a fight.
NaiYou looking for a flank chain. Crystal Arrow is going to go wide. Yaoyao trying to tether Fengyue, but nothing to be had there. He's just going to clear out some of this vision here on the bottom side. As Karis awaits minions to hit his turret, already losing out on one. As we head to the wet noodle fight up in the top lane for some reason. Now let's look at the real action here. JiaQi getting tagged up, flashes away, but it looks like a fight that About is going to win. A solo kill for About.
And that was much needed, but JiaQi with some really bad clicks in there. Down on the bot side, they did pick out Yaoyao, and they're looking for Karis here as well.
Teleport coming in from behind here. It's going to be Cube joining the party as Karis is quite low. NaiYou is going to get sequestered out. He's able to flash away. What did the rest of Top Esports do? Fengyue is going to land a hook, and they're going to target out Monki. Creme doing big damage as Monki falls. Karis is hanging on by a sliver as Cube has to walk forward in this 3v1. Yaoyao is on the way. The shields are going to be available. He's going to target Cube with the first one, but the hook lands, and now he's stuck on the miasma, choking on the toxic air that Creme is putting out. Cube on this backside finds Fengyue after an all-out, but now finds himself in a 2v1 because Karis can't help, and the Rubik's Cube has been smashed to pieces. TES up 1.3k gold.
4-0-4, 4-0-3. You said it at the top of the game, Yanni. This is the Creme and NaiYou world that the rest of Top Esports are just living in. It's just Creme solo takes out Yaoyao, whilst that mid lane 1v1 ended up happening. But the 3v3 down on this bot side, one that I was expecting to be relatively favourable for WE, because they've got their 3 topside members where Top Esports are playing with their support. It's just a case of target acquisition. Creme is constantly unchecked. Now 369 is going to flash his way out to safety here. We might be seeing more. There's a TP behind from Creme, and here comes Fengyue.
Oh, watch out, the miasma, the stun. It's too much to deal with. Creme has gone crazy in this game. He's 5-0-3. The Cassiopeia counter played to perfection. About is going to die in the mid lane as well to JiaQi, and it is all gone to pieces. Top Esports running over Team WE, looking to make this a clean 3-0 series.
And I will remind you, people at home, this game does not get worse as the game gets later for Top Esports. A Cassio is a champion renowned for her scaling. The fact that Creme is 5-0-3 only means that she gets to critical mass even sooner. Her ability to churn through frontline at max stacks, at maximum possibility, is pretty much unrivaled for mid lane champions. And as we see now, the Herald being secured, Creme going back to base with a 2.6k gold lead. 10 stacks on a Dark Seal. It feels almost inevitable, the outcome of this game and this series.
4k gold lead for Top Esports. They've gotten every objective on the map so far. They have sufficiently shut down Monki. They attacked the rookie of the split and Yaoyao in the bot lane. Karis has been sufficiently locked up. Creme in a little bit of trouble now as Cube is trying to make something happen. It's a good flash. He's knocked back, and it's Monki getting a shutdown. Maybe that triggers something in Team WE to find a way back in this game. We're going to get a Herald charge coming through, but Karis is here just to clean up the wave.
So the tier 1 turret falls, and they get a good amount of plates as well off of the tier 2 in exchange for Creme's life. They'll also pick up a Cloud Soul Point Dragon, and looks like on this top side, Top Esports are going to lose out on 369 as WE are quite content with the play that they have just made. It will be a slow return to normalcy here as the rest of the map outside of this mid lane relatively even. JiaQi and About still going blow for blow despite the fact that JiaQi had got given so many resources early on. Same to be said on that top side as well. Cube and Monki still having slight gold leads over their counterparts. Again, despite the large-scale hole in this mid lane. This truly is a game for Creme to go out and win.
Baron spawning in about a minute, and with this large lead that Top Esports has, it's looking very, very poor for Team WE, as you had just mentioned a few moments ago. So I think the big question is, can we define the split one as a success for Team WE? Because they did get into Group Ascend which is the big thing, right? If you're not in Group Ascent, you want to get into Group Ascent. And 6th Festival they were to get there. We'll hold that thought for a moment as we are investing everything we have into killing Cube at this point. And it looks like they're going to get him. It's just a matter of time. Now, what is the response going to be from Team WE?
Well, I don't know that it could be all that great. As you can see, Creme takes the safe ways back to the mid lane, doesn't path his way through Monki, but a good amount of poke early on. Creme, you can see, more intent on trying to do some damage back, and you can see why, but about standing and delivering as well. Does outrange the Casio, so might be able to make some things happen here if a Fengyue hook doesn't quite connect.
Shock Blast, the Fengyue is forced to flash away, but they're just lying in wait for NaiYou in the arrow. It's going to get the Mikhails out from Monki. Teleport going to be coming in as well. NaiYou not going to be landing. The wind becomes lightning here. There's a 369 TP just a match down on the bottom side. Meanwhile, top tier 2 taken by JiaQi.
So overall, again, trades favourable for top esports now. Karis here, he's got Phase Rush, he's got Realm Warp. Let's see if he needs any of them.
He should be just.
Paul the Forge got the 369, so a little bit of Phase Rushing, a little bit of Rise passiving, he's able to get out of there.
Yeah, so to go back to it, is this successful? Is going 3-2 against top esports the first time around, and then coming up here and getting ran by AL and getting skunked here by top esports for that matter, is this still successful? Because I think this team has higher aspirations after that 2025 summer finish where they finished 4th, after that end of 2025 where it felt like they had unfinished business after not making it out of Knights Rivals. Despite the change in the bottom lane, I think the big core is the same, and I think the expectations have to be higher.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Yanni, I'm in a different boat. I think that for WE, if they had those high aspirations, maybe they don't have the budget to back it up, but they didn't pick a roster that would get them, it feels like, much further than this. For me, I'm happy that they made it this far, that they are going to be in Group Ascending split number 2. Because I really thought that might not be the case. You know, they've been able to pick up About and you know, put him into the roster. He's done very well, and I think that had that not been the case, this could have been a very different split for them. Overall, as JiaQi gets caught again, flash forced from him in the mid lane, I do think that WE should really be happy with this split. You know, they've got a good amount of development. Karis was able to step up a little bit, and now looking mid lane for About.
Oh, the Forge God perhaps predicting a flash, but oh, the knockup is going to target him up, and it's another knockup by 369. And the Team WE members in the mid lane, the bottom lane and support, will fall once again.
TP committed here by Creme to try and make this play happen. And a wonderful double knockup from 369. Finds them caught on a wall. Top Esports will turn this now into the Baron, with About and Yaoyao finding their 4th deaths respectively in this game. The Baron will be taken. No WE YOLO at the 20-minute marker to be found.
Not at all. A very clean, clinical game here from Top Esports. Up 5,000 gold, 16 kills to 5. There is not much that Team WE were able to do in this one. It is not over yet, but it is not looking good. Now we have a lot of questions to ask about Team WE. Do we think there could be any potential changes moving into Split 2? There's a couple of supports that are still out there. You know, Crisp and Hong are, you know, around, and Yaoyao has mentioned again, he doesn't know, like, when he's going to be able to play his last game, really. And this is a guy that has been around for a while, but hasn't really stuck too much at the Tier 1 level. See if he gets another split for himself. Backside, NaiYou not going to be able to land. Wind becomes lightning. As Team WE, they are going to try and do what they can to avoid this dragon going over. NaiYou targeting out of bounties on the backside, trying to mitigate as much damage as he can. Cube still alive, but will finally fall to Creme. And now he will slither forward and look for the rest of Team WE. Karis going to get knocked up on the side. 369 is going to whiff the Ornn ultimate, but it does not matter because Top Esports are too damn strong. It's a triple kill for Creme, and he just knew where Monki was without even having vision of him. He has Team WE downloaded. Top Esports have Team WE downloaded. That is an ace, an unofficial quadra, and a Cloud Soul for Top Esports.
Yeah, this game, this series, Yanni, I fear has been pretty much wrapped up. 5k gold lead. A Cassiopeia who has got 23 stacks on her Magi Soul Stealer. One more fight will ding that over to the big 25. Cloud Soul in her back pocket. There's very little opportunity for anybody to get on top of her. Cube there, selling out his marksman. Forces the Mikhails out of Yaoyao early, and I don't know if a used Mikhails would have been any better through the back half of this. But even still, you can see that Karis isolated here, focused. Not quite sure where his flash was heading into. And then in the mid side as well, Creme is just absolutely steamrolling. He's got 3,500 HP. He's got all that much more AP as well. And as your Karma just can't quite manage to deal with all of this.
I know we've been lauding Creme for his great play in this game, as we should be. We'll hold that thought as an arrow is going to come and land flush on about. He's locked up NaiYou on top of Yaoyao. A Realm Warp will at least get your Ezreal out, but it will not get the Rise out. We can talk about lauding, Creme getting all the plaudits for this game while they kill Cube, but what this series showed me is that NaiYou, I thought he was maybe on the same level as Monki, that those guys were very similar in skill. I think NaiYou has proven far and away in the series that he is the better jungler. He was the one making a lot of proactive plays in this series where Monki could not.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not necessarily just a product of the champions either. I mean, Monki got absolutely smurfed on in this, in particular, game number 3. Game 1 where he had the Poppy, we didn't really see too much from him. Game number 2, we didn't see too much on the Viego outside of some really good team fights later on. The other game from Monkeys have been lacking, and you can see here that Top Esports just kind of dancing as they take this tier 3 turret, the inhibitor as well, the entire time. Creme is pushing in the mid lane. There's a Baron spawning. Hold on.
All right, NaiYou, use that ultimate very low. So the minions are pouring into the base, but Top Esports will walk it out with 2 inhibitors down. Yeah, I agree with you. It's not just champion choice for NaiYou. He's just played really, really well. I think that I don't know what they have to change here for the side of Team WE, because Monki got these big carries in game 2 and game 3, was unable to bring it across the finish line. It feels like he needs to play some more of these champions that are almost Jinzhao-esque, right? Where they do carry a little bit of CC, where you do have some of this mitigation out of your ultimate, but you can also scrap and skirmish, which is what Team WE loves to do. And it feels like if you don't tick all those boxes for a jungler for Monki, that Team WE has a harder time playing their game.
And for WE, obviously, whatever the criticisms of Monki may be, whatever the roads to success are going to be, most likely going to need to have a good amount of off time in the off season to make it work. They're going to realm warp in Cube.
All right, we're going after Creme. If we can take him out, we might have a shot. Arrow goes wide. This could be the fight that Team WE needs, but it's JiaQi on the flank. Look how fast he is. Just running them down. It's a double kill for 369. Cube going to be the next target. 369 flash for the triple kill. You know he wants a quad, but he's not going to get it. It's a full house of kills for Top Esports, and it's a full house in the base of WE, because you got minions and you got 4 members of Top Esports to walk it down and end this series. We thought these teams were close, and many did. I did. You said no. You are wrong. You have preached correctly to the people, Roodood, as Top Esports have 3-0'd and eliminated WE from the playoffs here in Split 1.
Yeah, 29-7. Not a close game, not a close series. Top Esports just were the better team on the day, and WE here, they'll go home, they'll close out their 2026 Split 1 with a whimper, really. And you can see sort of it feels almost subdued and quite a disappointing end for WE. But again, I personally want to credit them for what they were able to accomplish. I think as we came into this split, they picked up a rookie marksman who was expected to fill the massive shoes of Taeyoon. They swapped out Vampire as well, a player who's gone on to a new roster that is absolutely thriving out there. So they've swapped out their bot lane and made what we would have considered to be very real downgrades. 369's playing with the trophy. But
oh, did he have that on his? Didn't he have something on his chest earlier?
Maybe
like that little gem. I thought I saw something like that earlier. So maybe that was one of them. Maybe he just took one of them and stuck it on his on his
somebody more
jersey?
observant. Somebody
You
more
allowed to do
observant will
that?
tell us. Yeah, we'll have to tell us what he just did. I
Oh,
think it's,
okay. The captain gets it. Okay, the captain gets the little gem, and I guess they get to put it in the trophy when they win.
Maybe. That could have very well been what the case was. Now, I mean, for Top Esports, obviously this was an elimination match. They have not been eliminated. They get to play one more, and we'll take a look at the bracket and everything in a little bit of time here before we wrap up. But again, to reinforce for WE, them making it into Ascend for next split, I think is a win for them. I think they should be happy, and I think this now gives them an opportunity to play up against the best in the LPL once again. This is what succeeded for them. What they did so well back in 2025 was when they got this route to play up against all of these powerful, strong teams. They looked good when they were playing up against teams that were, equal to or slightly below their station. That's when we got to see some slightly poor post-season performances.
It's so disappointing, honestly, though. After the 3-2 that they had in Knight's Rivals, and yeah, they got destroyed by AL, right? And as mentioned before, there's no shame in that. AL is one of the strongest teams that we have to offer here in the LPL. Many think one of the stronger teams in the world. But, this is a Top Esports team that I have to say, congratulations to them, because they learned so much from their series with JDG. And they were able to clean up a lot of the mistakes they made against Team WE last time around, played a much cleaner brand of League of Legends, and based on what I'm seeing here on the bracket, if they do end up playing up against Weibo Gaming, I've got a lot of confidence that Top Esports can go and beat up on Weibo Gaming. I do have some worries about this bot lane, though, if that's the case. Looking forward for them, because Elk has been phenomenal throughout the split so far.
Yeah, and that's the caveat here that we need to put in. I mean, I think that Creme this series, again, for me, the most improved player from 2025 into 2026, had a really, really solid performance and performed admirably throughout this entire series. So I'm really excited to see what he can do in this postseason. NaiYou, again, one of these players who we were not too sure how that introduction was going to be at the start of the split, and maybe it took a little bit of time. Maybe there have been some teething problems, but now in this series in particular, again, absolutely phenomenal. 369 out of that top side, pretty quiet series, but was never a problem, was never an issue for Top Esports. And as much as Cube was pretty subdued as well, always felt like the team fighting from 369 was just that bit better. It was always able to do that little bit more.
No doubt about it. I'm glad that you shouted out Creme there. He's a guy that I levied some criticism at earlier in the broadcast for not having great playoff series versus Team WE. Well, he exercised those demons for sure in this one. Remember, he had 0 player of the games in his last 4 series versus Team WE. It looks like he's well on his way to a 3rd player of the game. Or a 2nd, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Again, there is a world where you can give it to NaiYou. NaiYou had a lot of really strong early game impact. It did feel like as the game went on, Creme did start to take over. So I wonder how much credence is going to be lent to that strong early game compared to what Creme was able to do later. Roodood, what do you think?
No, I would definitely be looking to put it into Creme's hands for this game number 3. I think he was the damage carry, and I'm looking at remembering how those fights actually broke down, what actually happened in the plays. Creme was kind of leading as well. It wasn't him following up exclusively on NaiYou's picks. Like down on the bot side, he's picking out Yaoyao as he's trying to clear a ward in the brush. There are so many different things that Creme led in this game that I'm very excited to see what he can do.
I fully agree with you, my friend. We have an updated bracket ready, so let's go ahead and pull it up, because we got to see what's going on here. Double Elim bracket playoffs. And yes, it is Top Esports versus Weibo Gaming. So, Weibo Gaming, cleaning up IG, got cleaned up by BLG, so it's a little hard to, measure where they're at compared to Top Esports. I think that Split 1 regular season is a good indicator of where these teams are, where Top Esports may be just coming up a little bit short against Weibo, but if Creme plays like he did in this series, I think he could run over Xiaohu, who is still not really in form.
Yeah, I mean, the gulf between, we know that they're better than IG, but they're worse than BLG, is a very large expanse of space that they could possibly be in. So it's definitely not easy to predict where they're going to be in. Overall, I am expecting a much closer series. So far, we've only had either very close series, these 3-2s, and only JDG actually in those. And you know, in fairness, they had a 3-2 versus Top Esports, which I think indicates that they'd struggle versus AL, and then beat AL 3-2. So other than that, we have kind of weeded out a lot of the I would say early bracket matchups where we expect them all to be quite close. And I do think that whoever ends up losing or winning this IG versus NIP game probably then gets slaughtered by anyone's legend. But then after that, we kind of have our very good teams left in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really compelling games. Obviously, JDG BLG is going to be a banger. Banger alert for that one. Set your alarms for whenever that one is. Weibo Gaming and Top Esports, I actually think will be a pretty fun one, right? I'm not sure if I'm willing to call that one a turbo banger, but I definitely think that Top Esports has evolved enough to certainly make this a conversation, whereas before I would have just given it to Weibo. I'm really intrigued by this IG NIP game that's going to be tomorrow, covered by Quacks and Dia. But again, I think that's just fodder for AL. AL should run the bottom side of the bracket, and then we're going to I think our top three is going to be BLG, JDG, AL, and we're going to see these teams get in a fight toward the end of this split for, you know, in the end, getting the title and the top two teams getting over to first stand.
Yeah, and I mean that's the real race, right? The good thing is that upper bracket match decides our first team first of all. So, or you know, we would expect to see some very high action between JDG and BLG. I think that BLG seemingly in this playoffs have gone quite convincingly into a pretty convincing set of form. Now, whether or not that holds versus a team of slightly higher caliber, because they have been playing slightly weaker teams, it's worth saying. We'll wait and see. But for my money, BLG definitely look like a very formidable foe who I would be very daunted to play up against.
No doubt about it, Roodood. Well, we have the post-game interview going on. Those typically run very long, so we're not going to see what our final player of the game is or our player of the series, but all you got to know is that Top Esports wiped out Team WE in a 3-0 series. One more thing that you got to know is that while we shouted our coffee earlier, we got to thank our elite coffee supporters, Aaron, Soup, and Mung, because their pledged financial contributions help level up the broadcast and give back to the cast and crew who strive to give you an English LPL product every single day. Speaking of every single day, tomorrow as we turn the page over to March, it's IG versus NIP, as mentioned just a few moments ago. Dia and Quacks will be covering that one. Should be a really fun match, and that's our second eliminator match, so we'll see if IG or NIP, which one goes, which one stays, and which one gets fed to anyone's legend in the end. But that will do it for our broadcast here today. For myself, for my co-caster Roodood, for Shivan behind the glass, and for the entire LPL English family, we want to thank you all so much for being here with us today, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more LPL action.